In all of the oceans and rivers of the world, there are fish. Fish are incredibly diverse and complex creatures, with over 30,000 species of them in the world, and each of them with their own distinct ways of feeding themselves and producing the next generation. Researchers all around the world commit their lives to studying these fascinating creatures, and the scientists here at Auburn are no different. Dr. John Armbruster, a researcher here at Auburn University, works with Auburn's Natural History Museum to help gather and study the biodiversity of fish, and he curates the collection. Our museum's collection has over 750,000 preserved specimens of fish, many of these coming from our home state of Alabama. One of these species is called Aphrododorus cyanus, and that is also known as the pirate perch. Although they might not look intimidating on first glance, these little creatures get their name from their fierce predatory nature, eating only other fish when observed in a tank. The pirate perch most commonly live in southeastern United States, in the temperate regions, and they may inhabit a kind of swamp, such as this one. They may also inhabit oxbows or marshes because they prefer living in slow-moving water.
All right, so today we went to a beaver swamp in the Tuskegee National Forest, and it was a place where these fishes used to be extremely common because it was just the right habitat. And beaver swamps are interesting because they take a riverine habitat and make it a lake habitat, and it creates habitat for species that normally wouldn't be there. And so things like the pirate perch rely on areas like that for their spawning. We know very little about their spawning, but we do know that that area had once been a really good spawning area for these fishes. However, the beaver dam has been breached, and through things like our periodic droughts, that has limited their ability to recolonize back into the area.
The complexity of the pirate perch continues in the mystery of their reproduction. The most important developmental characteristic to the pirate perch is their unique and multi-purpose vent. It acts as the common opening of the excretory, urinary, and reproductive system. During the early stages of their development, it is located at the tail end of the fish, but moves to under the head after they mature. Now, they are ready to mate. The female ejects their eggs from this vent and places them in nooks within the dense vegetation of their habitats. The male searches for the female's egg deposits and releases its sperm through their vent. After a 5 to 7 day period of incubation in the foliage, the newborn pirate perch hatch and begin their new lives. This amazing event happens once a year for each fish, and it produces 100 to 400 offspring. Even with all this evolutionary and physical evidence collected from other researchers, it is still not 100% known to the world how it is these fish procreate, as there is no video evidence. Dr. Armbruster, however, has found that many of what has been discovered is possibly credible, and goes on to explain how he believes that they procreate based off of his knowledge from the scientific community.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a couple stories, and what's weird about the pirate perch is that its vent is right there. So that's where the eggs would come out on the female, and of course the sperm comes out in males. And the original story was somebody found a few eggs in the gill chamber. These are related to the cave fishes, which brood their eggs in at least one of them is known to brood their eggs inside of the gill chamber. Well, it turns out that's a derived character within cave fishes, and these guys certainly don't do that. They lay their eggs in vegetation, as was shown in by an aquarist that actually kept some of these alive. And then recently, they discovered that there's something weird called transbranchioral spawning. And so what they did, the reason the vent is here, nobody could figure that out. But what they determined was that the female released the eggs, they came up into the gill chamber, and then she spit them out into the plants. Then the male did the exact same thing. He released sperm, it went up to the gill chamber, and he spit the sperm onto the eggs.
These secretive fish go about their lives, hunting and searching for a mate. They will hang around the edges of the water like you see here. These spies of the swamp, with their dark purple coloration, makes them almost indistinguishable from their surroundings. In addition to their natural uniform, they are also capable of changing their chemical composition to evade predators and sneak up on prey, making them the perfect assassins. Scientists believe that these fish are actually the first animal discovered capable of this amazing feat. This adaptation most likely came about due to the murkiness of their habitat. Fish in these dense water territories rely on chemical markers to distinguish prey from enemy. Due to their small size, these fish are hunted for food, so they will use their chemical camouflage to alter their scent and hide from their predators. Similarly, and perhaps most amazingly, the pirate perch change their chemical makeup to go undercover and mask their scent as to not be discovered when they hunt for insects, fish, and aquatic crustaceans, making them major predators to their habitat. So how does this chemical deception work? Unfortunately, this is still unknown to many researchers, including Dr. Armbruster. But there is speculation that it is caused by a scrambling of chemical signals or masking of scent through chemicals. But rest assured, these scientists are working hard to figure out the secrets of these fierce fish.